Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Tempo. Today I'm going to show you guys my settings, my class setups, give you guys some tips and tricks on how to become a better sniper and player overall on Modern Warfare, and I'm going to show you guys my play style currently on Modern Warfare. Now, I know I made a video like this in the past. It was a few months ago, I'm pretty sure, and that one is a little outdated. Obviously I've gotten better since then, so I'm making an updated one, and I'm going to go more in depth than I did in the last one. But before I go any further, I have a very special announcement. So for those of you who don't know, I edit all my videos and make all my thumbnails by myself. But as of last night, one of my friends, Stunz, I owe him a lot, and he has helped me throughout this journey of mine, and I cannot thank him enough. His links will be in the top of the description. Please go check him out. It would mean the world to me. He's taken time out of his day to edit for me. So Stunz, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Stunz.
Again, huge shout out to Stunz, the GOAT himself. And with all that being said, let's continue with the video. So first, we're going to start with my classes, then my settings, then tips and tricks, and then my playstyle. Now, let's start with my main weapon that I always use, the SPR. Now, this SPR build is mainly built for speed, but I also have another class set up with the SPR that's built for damage as well. So I run the ZLR ASP barrel, tac laser, solo 0 SPR 28mm sniper scope, 208 blitz stock, and the 600 feather bolt assembly. Now again, this class setup is made for speed, so you will get some hit markers. But a lot of my friends told me that if you put on one of these two Lapua mags, you will have more damage, but sacrificing a little bit of your ADS time. Me personally, I don't know why, but I don't like the ammunition, so I just run it without any extra ammo, and to me, it works fine. Now, this second SPR class was actually given to me by my good friend Panda the Plug. You take the ZLR ASP barrel off and you put on FMJ, but if you want, you can run focus or sleight of hand. Now we move on to my Car 98K, my baby. I run the tac laser, sniper scope, the FTAC sport comb, stock, focus, and stippled grip tape. This class setup is awesome. You will get some hit markers because, you know, it's the car, but if you want, you can take off focus and put on one of the barrels to give you less hit markers. Now, some of the perks I use and some of the tacticals and lethals, I always run double time because I like to get around the map faster. If you want, you could put on scavenger or quick fix. I would highly recommend quick fix more than scavenger, but it's all how aggressive you are or how passive you are. I also run overkill and amped, and then for my secondary perks, I'll change them up sometimes. I usually have quick fix in the first slot, and then scavenger, and then maybe tune up or restock. It depends on what I'm playing, but that's mainly what I run sometimes. Then for lethal, I'll put on a grenade or Semtex, and then I always run stim. Now next is the MK2 carbine. So I run the tac laser, sniper scope, the FSS MK2 sport comb, focus, and stippled grip tape. But if you want, you can take off focus and put on sleight of hand. I just put on focus because it helps me a lot when centering and quick scoping. Now we got two snipers left, the AX and the HGR. Let's start with the AX first. So for my AX50, I run the 17.0 factory barrel, tac laser, thin arms armed assassin, stippled grip tape, and bipod. But I usually don't run bipod. I've only been running bipod recently, so you could take off bipod, and I usually run focus. So for my HDR, it's a little bit different. I don't run a whole lot of attachments with the HDR. I only run the tac laser, FTAC, stalker scout, focus, and bipod. So those are all my classes. Now let's move on to my settings. So next is my settings. For my settings, my button layout is tactical because I really don't like circle for crouch. I love using my analog sticks. And then for my dead zone, I have a 7 dead zone, and I'll explain why. I have my dead zone at 7 because sometimes when I aim, I tend to flick off the target or sometimes miss a lot. So I changed to 7 because I don't know why, but it kind of helps me in a way. I would definitely recommend change the dead zone if you have stick drift. If you don't have stick drift and you got like a brand new controller and it's working perfectly fine, I would put it at 5 or maybe 4. The lower the dead zone is, the better. So I usually have it just at 7. Now for my vertical and horizontal sensitivity, I have them both at 14. I used to be a slow sense player. I used to put like maybe like a 12-10 or like a 10-12, but I found that 14 for me is very, very good. It's easier to flick and to turn on people, and it's easier to react faster, if that makes sense. Now here is my ADS low zoom and high zoom. My low zoom is 0.70, and here's why. I have it at 0.70 because my dumbass thought that it meant for ARs, and I didn't know it was for marksman rifles. And then I have my ADS high zoom at default because I feel like it's easier for me, and I've been running it for a while now, so you know, why not? Now the rest of these settings I'm just gonna skim past, so pause the video if you need. My aim response curve is standard, no controller vibration, standard aim assist, and the rest I'll just go through now. So I have use reload behavior, I have it on contextual tap, and then the rest of these are just default. For slide behavior, I have it on tap, auto move forward disabled, automatic sprint, tactical sprint, and then the rest is just preference. So my brightness is at 57%. My safe area covers my entire screen. And then for my film grain, I have it all the way at 0 because for me, I could see enemies clearer with no film grain. And then tooltips I have disabled, subtitles disabled, and then motion blur off. If you play with motion blur, I highly recommend you play without motion blur. Trust me, it is a game changer. Then for minimap shape, I have squared enabled, rotation, minimap rotation, I have that enabled. I have my compass, text at letters, and then the rest is just, you know, preference again. Now for my audio, I have it on boost high. I highly recommend you play on boost high. For me, I can hear enemies a lot better with boost high than, for example, boost or the default setting, which I think is boost, I think. Then my master volume is at 44%. Music volume, I have no music. Dialogue, 77. And then the rest is preference. My open mic threshold, recording threshold, is 3.16. I don't mess with this, so I just have it at the default. Voice chat is 130. Microphone, I usually have it at like 120. And then voice chat effects, I have none. So those are my settings, and I just went over my classes. Now I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to maneuver and outplay your opponent when you are sniping. So basically, get ready. I'm about to expose myself. So now it's time to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to snipe and some key things to note when you are sniping, aggressive or not. And the first thing to note is movement. Movement is key. If you don't have movement, chances are you will die. Things as slide canceling, let's say your opponent is right there and you got shot. What you could do is debate him, like go this way and then quickly slide the other way and get the kill. Something to also keep in mind is try and think 10 steps ahead of your opponent. Like think what you would do in that scenario, like if they just caught you off guard or what have you. Something that I do a lot and you guys should try as well is turning around on your opponent. You guys will know that if someone's behind me and I'm running to get cover, I would turn back and shoot them and see if I can get a clear shot. Something I would recommend to someone that's just starting to snipe and to start getting aggressive is play against people that are better than you at sniping, that have experience, and see if you can learn from them. Like if they had a move or technique that you thought that was really cool, try and pick up on it and see if you can either make it your own or copy that certain play style. So now that you got movement down and how to have a better play style and to outthink your opponent, now we need to move on to sniping. Now I'm pretty sure we all know what quick scoping is and drag scoping and what have you, but a lot of people don't use jump shotting, which is basically jumping over a container or object, catching the guard, catching the enemy off guard getting that kill. Another tip is to know spawns. Knowing spawns is key when you're going for feeds or if you're trying to win a 1v1. Me, I mainly do shipment and speedball for my 1v1s, and then I know all the other maps. But me, it's kind of a curse because I somehow know all the spawns to every map. So that's what I would try and pick up on if you're beginning sniping or if you have experience and you quite don't know where to go yet. Another thing to note when sniping is always be aware of your surroundings, whether it's peeking around the corner, checking behind you to make sure someone doesn't have dead silence, or making sure that you know where your opponent is. Now let's move on to my playstyle. Now my playstyle is kind of unique in my own way through experience of sniping for a little over 6 years, and some of the things I do help me a lot and I'd love to give back. An example of that is knowing how my opponent plays and knowing where they go, if they re-challenge, and things like that. That's also something that I would recommend you guys pick up on, is knowing your opponent, because if you know your opponent, it'll be easier to win the gunfight or win the match. You guys will also notice that I 360 a lot, and that's something that I've been doing recently. I don't quite know why. I guess it's to make sure that my opponent's not behind me. It's also to re-challenge when they are either weak or when I am weak. Sometimes that gets me killed, but it's a 50-50 chance. I also make sure that I slide cancel at the exact time. An example of that is if my opponent sees me, I duck, and to make sure that I'm harder to hit, whether I'm standing still and just walking and they're there and I die. But yeah guys, those are all of my tips, my settings, and how I play. If I missed out on anything, I do apologize. This video was kind of hard for me to make. I had to take multiple retakes of the same line. That's something that I struggle with lately, so I do apologize. So yeah guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. We are literally 5 subscribers away from the big 300. Again, thank you guys for all the support that I've been receiving over these past couple months. They have been awesome and I absolutely love you guys. So yeah guys, my name is Tempo and I will see you guys in the next video. Later. Also, tomorrow I'm going to be streaming at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys want to stop by, please feel free to do so. Okay, bye.